Every hero needs an enemy. Every story needs a challenge. You want to know what kind of villains we're talking about?
Happen to find out.
Yeah. Tap in, tap in. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Tap in, come vibe for a minute. Two friends talking life, yeah, we really just living. From anime fights to the games we be winning. If it's nerdy or funny, yeah, you know we get in it. No script, no plan, just vibes in the mic. 1 minute we deep, next minute we hype. Debating who's strongest, who wins in a fight. Then switch to real life, like you good, you alright, ay. Whatever you into, we talking about it. So tap in, and let's get it. Tap in, you already know what it is.
Welcome to the Tapping Conversation podcast. I'm Joby,
And I'm Kobe.
and today's episode is all about villains. How are you doing today, Kobe?
Doing well. How about yourself, Joby?
Doing pretty well, man. We're getting closer to summertime, one of my favorite times of the year. Able to hit out the lake, hit up the trails, start hiking. Can't wait, can't wait.
That and a lot of sunscreen, and I also can't wait to do some more hiking as well.
Absolutely. Well, last week we talked about heroes. And, the heroes, they get the movies, they get the merchandise, and, the happy endings. But let's be honest, the villains, they get the best lines. So today we're celebrating the haters, the schemers, the world conquerors, and the people who woke up every morning and chose chaos. Welcome to our deep dive into some of fiction's most unforgettable villains. And we're going to kind of go with the same format we went with last week. So won't you get us started with our comic book villain?
Okay, I can do that. So I'm gonna start with this character. He's very big. He has a very huge franchise. He's also in a lot of movies. Older ones, kind of going to the newer ones in a trilogy type way set up. But I'm gonna start the comic book that I've chosen for is Darth Vader.
Oh,
I
nice.
think Darth Vader is somewhat of a complex character that didn't really start as a villain. He started off as a hero. He was the chosen one and everything, and just having to go through. I feel like he had pressure to be this chosen one over the Force and everything, and then once he kind of going off the rail, and when his girl, I believe his wife died, that took a big toll on him, where he pretty much went to like the dark side and just
So
going over on that side. I'm
about
sorry.
that, no, you're fine. About that with Padme. Uh, so the theory is that the hatred from Anakin, and when he force choked Padme there before the battle with Obi
Hmm.
Wan, it was that broken heart that killed Padme, and that was his last connection, like you mentioned, to the good side, and that losing her and basically lost his humanity.
Yeah, he just lost his whole sanity. Just once she was gone, it was like, okay, well, I can just do whatever now, because now you're the last person in a way of keeping me good, and then now you're gone. I don't have to be good anymore.
Right, I mean, look at all the loss he did suffer. His mother grew up as a slave in these terrible conditions,
Hmm.
wanting to be the best of the best, wanting to be granted as a Jedi master. They wouldn't grant him. So he had all these grievances and all this grief. And yeah, Anakin definitely or Darth Vader, if you will, is a very complex character. Now, let me ask you, because I am curious, I haven't really read any of the Star Wars comics. What are some of the
Hmm.
traits you see in Vader that we don't get to see in the movies and episodic TV shows?
It's kind of almost the same, but he's just in a way. I feel like in the comics he's more darker, just more cold, just really no emotions. Like there was a comic, I didn't write it down, but there was somebody on the Dark Star had like this huge crush to the point where it was very obsessive, where she would want to do everything to try to have Darth Vader fall in love with her. And I forgot what she took from him. She was taking like few little items that that she thought Darth Vader wouldn't like remember or anything, so she was just taking these items. And it got to a point where Darth Vader finds the stuff and sees her with them, and she's confessing her love to him, saying like, "I love you, like you're like everything." And he just basically takes out his lightsaber and just stabs her, and then just calls the one of the robots to say, "Hey, come like clean up, like come clean up this mess," and just throws away. Like he's just more cold, just no emotion, no empathy, just really doesn't even care like at all, like who you are. If you stand in his way or he feels like you're like somewhat of like a threat or anything, he just will just get rid of you.
Yeah, that makes sense. It really does, and it's interesting because you said he's a lot darker in the comics. I'm gonna have to start reading them. I definitely want to see more depth from the character, and I think reading those comics is the way to go.
The one that I have is actually titled Darth Vader. It came out in 2015. And this timeline for where it takes place, it happens immediately after New Hope.
Okay.
So all this is going on. He just going on a rampage, just really being really dark and just in a way really more twisted. It's like after the destruction of the Death Star, Emperor Palatine, he blames Vader for for basically standing like I believe standing in his way and just learning the identity of a young pilot who destroyed the space station. Just it's just little things like that where just kind of planting little bombs around where he's finally just gonna like snap.
Absolutely. So I also chose a pretty big figure, not as big as Anakin slash Vader, but we briefly touched on Walking Dead last week, like briefly touched
Mm.
on it. I went with Negan, and
Ooh.
not the TV show version, who was so watered down. I'm talking about Negan from the comics, who was F this, F that, F word 20 times in one single page.
Mm.
More brutal in the comics, way more brutal. He's one of those characters that proves that charisma and charm can make
Hmm.
you overlook sometimes the bad in people, and I think he's a very good example of that.
Now, if you say Negan from the comics is more worse than the show, so him, it's probably spoilers for the viewers if you're not caught up in The Walking Dead or if you haven't seen it, but him killing Glenn and the I forgot that the ginger that was in that season where he just bashed your heads in with that bat.
That was
I just
from the TV. He also bashed in
hmm
Abraham's head.
yeah, like I'm still can't get over him killing Glenn the way that he did. That had me pretty much stop the whole entire series after that. I was like, nope, I can't watch this anymore.
Oh, it was more brutal in the comics. He made it seem like, hey, we're all good, nothing's gonna happen, and then bam, Glenn became Earth food. He became nutrients for the soil. Um,
Yeah.
but Negan, he's also very manipulative, very smart. He like with the saviors, his group. He gives his people just enough hope to keep them alive, in line. Not a
Hmm.
total dictatorship, not total control, but that little piece of hope, little piece of freedom, just to keep his people in line, and that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, like that's very sick. Like that's sick, twisted, just all the above.
Now we're gonna get into the anime characters we've chosen, and if you watched last week's episode or listened to last week's episode, you know mine already, and we'll get into that a bit later. Let's go ahead and go for your character, Kobe.
So for my anime villain is from Chainsaw Man. Have you seen Chainsaw Man before, Joby?
I have not, but it is on my to watch list on Crunchyroll.
I still have to finish it. I'm caught up somewhat in the manga, but there's a lot that I need to get caught back up into it. But this one ties with the first season of Chainsaw Man. My villain that I've picked is Makima. This woman right here is very, very manipulating, twisted, just in a way question like what's her ability. In Chainsaw Man, if y'all don't know, there's devils and beings that become devils in the show and stuff. And with this woman, the devil that she embodies the control. Like she's the control devil. Anything that she feels like the human being itself that's that feels or that's lesser than her, she can have free control over them. She can make them do whatever. She can have them do like bindings. At like one point in the anime, she was on the train with some other people that's from the public service. She's, I would say, the boss over the organization, and there was a few people that was trying to take her out on the train, and they thought they killed her. Like they all shot her too, like from like hell and back on the train. Everybody's freaking out, and everybody thought she was dead, but no, she basically gets back up and she does her little thing where she has contract with Tokyo. So she already had the names of the people's family and the people that were shooting at her, and she just takes her hands and rows them together in her palm, and the people that target her basically just started dying, just left and right, blood going everywhere, like everything. And I love this character because she manipulates the main character, Denji, because before he got his devil is the chainsaw man, the chainsaw devil. That devil can basically erase other devils, etc. Loves to fight and all of that. But before all of that, she was just trying to use Dinky under her belt, have him as like a pet. If she wanted him to go into chainsaw, man mode and just use him as a pawn, like in a way to help her scheme. Her ultimate scheme was basically just getting rid of all the other devils in the way, but wanted to really fight Chainsaw Man because she loved to fight as well. So she wanted to have this the main character as a pet and just use them to like fight. Like she
Wow.
was very sadistic, like very sadistic. Like I really hope you'll be able to watch it. And she is also one of the four horsemen
Hmm.
of like the devils in that show. So it was just something crazy to watch. If you viewers, if y'all haven't seen it, I recommend y'all watching it. Like it's really, really good. Like if you can get past Dinky a little bit, I love Dinky, but at the same time, I just be like, man, I just wish he would just stop sometimes. But I would say Makima, she is a character. If she doesn't get her way, she's just gonna pretty much crush you and just crush you like underneath her foot. Like, mm,
I'll have to check
good
it out.
character.
It seems like she really doesn't have a goal. She just does what she does for the love of the games. I'm definitely gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, like one of her main objective goal is to really have Denji under her belt and just
Hmm.
use him as a pet. And just whenever he wants, or have him transform as the Chainsaw Man Devil, just whenever she wants. And they have tussle a good few times. I won't tell you how many times she's died because that's also part of the trivia question about that. So I won't really
Hmm.
go too much on that. But I would say she has died, but she still comes back and just ready to control whoever she can with her control devil.
Yeah, a lot of anime characters, they have sadistic plans, and that gets me into my character, Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Wow. Ever since we posted that TikTok, whether Aaron was good or bad, or just getting
that.
people's opinions on our Tapping Conversation podcast page on TikTok, you guys should check it out and subscribe. But I've been digging deeper and deeper into Aaron Yeager in the complexity of this character. Like, for he had to make sure that his mother got killed in order for his younger self to have that hatred for the Titans, in order to set off the rumbling in the future. It's all calculated. It blurs the lines between future and past. What's good, what's wrong. And that's why, I chose Aaron Yeager for both my good character and my hero and my villain for both these segments on both these episodes. Because you can make the argument either way. And me personally, I lean toward the fact that Aaron Yeager was wrong. He was blinded by his hatred for the Titans so much that he destroyed 80% of the world's population.
Damn, Aaron.
At what point does protecting people become controlling them and become you wanting your end goal so bad you're having to do whatever it takes to achieve that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that sounds. I get it. Aaron definitely had it rough, but I feel like to a point you have to have some type of self control where you can't let that dark side just fully consume you and just go on some type of rampage and chaos like that. I mean, I get it. I mean, I haven't watched Attack on Titan for its whole entirety. Like I've seen, clips and some spoilers here and there, but I like that's an anime I have to sit down and like watch to fully understand Aaron and like the choices that he made because I'm just mind boggled, just like wow, this person just did all of this because these Titans, and then now just letting that dark side control him and consume him to where he's just bad himself.
Absolutely. And yeah, I highly recommend giving it a watch through. It's really good. In similar ways, he's almost similar to Darth Vader that you mentioned at the top of the episode. They're blinded by their hatred, their fear so much I don't want to say lose their humanity, but I guess I am saying that in a way.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're choosing to exchange it for something else that can comfort them in a way besides being nice. Like they're choosing that to, I feel like, some type of comfort. Like, okay, I've been through this. Maybe this would help me a little bit more better. Like being good and seeing everybody around me dying is not helping me or helping the people that I'm trying to help and save and protect. It's not doing anything. So I feel like jumping on the dark side and go ahead and just going on the rampage.
Exactly. And then it truly makes you lose yourself in the process. And that translates to the video game character I chose to talk about. And he's not super iconic. I guess he is if you're a fan of the franchise, but the elusive man from the Mass Effect series. He represents the danger of believing you're the only person capable of making the right decisions. He wants to save humanity. He wants to make humanity strong. But the things that he does and manipulates Commander Shepard to do in the process are straight evil. And that goes back to what I was saying about Aaron. At what point does protecting people become you controlling them and you becoming, this very big villain?
Yeah, like that's a heavy price to like that's a heavy toll to take on because makes you just flip that switch and just saying, fuck it. Like I gotta do what I gotta do because this is not working out, and I feel like this is my only choice that I have to lean on. So now I'm leaning towards the bad side and doing all the bad stuff now because yeah, I just feel like now doing the bad is just there's no like turning back at that point now.
Exactly. Like, when does that switch flip? When does he decide, hey, I'm going to conduct some experiments on innocent people? I'm going to treat these lives as expendable, just pawns in my goal to make humanity strong, make humanity survive and thrive. He truly believes that he is protecting humanity, that he's helping, that he is doing the right thing. However, the way he does it, it's not okay at all.
It's not because he's basically just wiping everything else away because you think that you're helping, but at the same time you're actually destroying. So it's like it's like the same face on like the same coin. whatever one you flip, heads or tails, it's still going to be some like one of the decisions that you're still going to make for it.
Right. Now, I am curious. Who did you choose as your video game villain?
So this is going to be hilarious. For my video game villain, I went with Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Nice. Fucking classic.
Only because it definitely popped up on my news feed when I was scrolling through TikTok the other
Hmm.
night, and I was like, you know what? Let me do this because I do love Team Rocket. They were not just goofy and silly, only trying
Right.
to catch just rare Pokemon or like Pikachu, but they had like world domination like goals. Like
Hmm.
Giovanni had these goals to have all these illegal weapons or like these different Pokeballs that do different things to like the Pokemon itself.
Hmm.
Just really had like a world domination like top five. And not only just with Team Rocket, the different teams like Team Magma, Team Aqua, Galactus, like all of them, like in a way they had some type of world domination of a way of making the world different and like in like their hands. Like they wanted to change the world and have it the way that they want it to be, like in their hands for it.
Right. And a lot of people, when they think of Team Rocket, they think of Jesse and James, the Meowths from the anime, goofy little side characters, comic relief, whatever. But
Hmm.
if you play like the Johto games, like the OG ones, like Crystal, Gold, Silver, Team Rocket got dark, especially like Giovanni
It's
abandoning his
very dark.
son. It.
Very dark. Even I think even in there was like a Pokemon anime series that actually had Giovanni
Mhm.
when I think it was blue or red. I think it was blue. Blue actually was facing against Giovanni, and basically Giovanni was just putting belt to ass against his whole entire team. Like he had a Rhyhorn, and he was just putting belt to ass to Victory Bell, like all the Pokemon that Blue was using. And I'm like,
Mhm.
this one Rhyhorn is beating you up like this. I hate to see the rest of his team because he's just obliterating you like right now. And just him having just wanting that world domination. And if anybody steps in his way, he's just gonna take you out or anybody that tries to mess with his plans for like world domination.
Right. And do you remember the post game for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon where they had Team Rainbow Rocket and it was even more devious about just destroying
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, like that's the one thing I never like I get it with the different teams like that, but when they want to destroy the world, I'm like, what's the point in that? Because can you survive that unless you catch one of those legendaries that allow you to make your own world like Team Galactus try to do that that leader he was trying to control both Palkia and Dialgas to make his own world and when they both use their powers for space and time to open up this one dimensional world the guy just jumps into that space, not knowing if he's
Mhm.
gonna be able to come back alive, if he can breathe in that space, if there's any food. He just said, you know what, I'm just gonna jump in here because this is literally what my ultimate goal was, is to make a whole new world. And at that point, nobody doesn't know what happened to him. It's like you went to this new world. Now what? Do you have food? Do you have air? Nobody really doesn't know.
What's crazy about these Pokemon villains or these antagonists is that you have these dark ones like Team Rocket or Magma or Aqua, but then you got the corny ones like Team Skull or Team Yell from Sword and Shield. They're
Yep.
just fans. How are they bad guys?
A
Like,
Team Flare.
go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say Team Flare in right, which Pokemon game was that was?
Flare was the X and Y.
Okay, X and Y. After they did their whole thing while they were trying to eliminate everybody. Hello guys, and this is the segment that I have called the Looney for Toonverse. This is my solo segment that I'm doing. I want to talk about Toonverse just a little bit. Just the I feel like it's a very OP ability to have because you can quite literally do anything. To be able to warp and bend reality for your own use is crazy. Like it's mind boggling to think that you think you're doing damage to a person and they just bounce back like nothing never happened. Like, okay, do it again and do it again. But I have a few characters that I do want to talk about that do use Toonverse. I'll start with Looney Tunes. I will say I'll use the Coyote and the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. These two characters, they have a long beef where the Coyote, of course, is always trying to catch the Roadrunner and try to eat him at least because he's always hungry. But one of my favorite moments from them is where they're going back and forth. So the Coyote tries and he paints a mural over this rock, and it looks like a railroad train and tracks on top of it. So he's patiently waiting on the other side for the roadrunner to take the bait and just crash into the wall. But instead of the roadrunner crashing through the wall, he's actually going straight through it. No damage, no nothing, just beep beep going straight through it. The coyote, he's puzzled, confused, just like how did he do that? So he tries to do the same thing, and he ends up splatting against the rock and taking all this damage. And you hear the comedic effects going off of just him getting hurt, and then you see the Roadrunner comes back, and he's like, ha ha ha, and just runs off again. And I will do another one. This is one of my favorite moments with Toonverse. This is spoilers for y'all and also for Joby. This is a little bit spoilers, just letting y'all know. One Piece with Luffy, he goes Gear 5 for the first time, and I will say that was peak. To see him really go to Gear 5 and fully be free and just liberated was just everything. It was just the cherry on top. But when him and Kaido were fighting, and when Kaido made Luffy awaken his Gear 5 form, Kaido was confused. You know, they're fighting, going back and forth. Kaido was like, I thought your ability was rubber. Like, did you awaken it? Like, what's going on? Like, everything around you is just rubber. It's not making any sense. Like, you're bouncing my attacks and using um, the terrain around you to deflect my attacks and everything. He's looking confused. But one of my favorite moments is when he takes the lightning bolt and he just throws it at Kaido, and Kaido takes the damage. He's just confused, like, did this really just happen? And I think another good moment is when Kaido hits him with his lightning attack against Luffy, knocking his head into the building where everybody is fighting, and all of Luffy's crewmates, they see Gear 5 for the first time when his face implants into where it comes from the rooftop inside at the very bottom, and he's just looking at everybody. His eyes is just bug eyed, just doing the whole comedic effects going off, and everybody does the same thing. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, is that Luffy? So I really love Toonverse. I love how goofy and just how, in a way, it just makes sense. Like, it just makes the character more OP because who's gonna hurt me than myself? Because I can't even hurt myself. I can just bend reality and just do whatever. I can just, oh you hit me or you try to flatten me. Okay, I'll just take my fingers and I'll just blow like I'm a balloon and just inflate back up again. And I'll say one more to go with that is SpongeBob SquarePants. There was the episode with the bully. If anybody's familiar with that episode where the school bully at the boating school was bullying everybody, and he was trying to bully SpongeBob, and SpongeBob was so terrified that he was going to kick his butt and everything. And then when it came down to him getting his butt kicked, the bully, tries to punch him. SpongeBob's not taking no damage. He's like, "Did you hit me yet?" So the guy reaches out again and tries to punch him, and he's like, "Did you not hit me yet?" And then the guy's, continuously trying to punch SpongeBob. SpongeBob's taking no damage. Not only is SpongeBob a literal sponge, but it's the comedic effect of him absorbing the damage and not sustaining the damage at all, just deflecting it back until the bully finally um sweats, like pretty much knocks himself out because he used all his stamina to try to hurt SpongeBob and end up just passing out. And then I believe it was his dad or somebody, and he was like, "Oh my God, how dare you hit my son? Now I'm going to kick your butt." And it was just one of those comedic effects. I just thought it was hilarious to see that in like SpongeBob.
All right, guys. So the trivia is getting harder and harder, and I'm a little terrified of what Kobe has prepared this week. Let's get into the trivia.
Okay, so for the trivia segment, it's of course about villains, but with this one, I'm still tying it to the characters that I previously talked about on this segment about the villains. So for this first answer, I mean the first question, can Darth Vader use Force lightning? True or false?
I'm trying to think about the video games, and I'm trying to think about. I'm gonna say no. He cannot use Force Lightning.
That one is correct. That one was false.
Yeah, because I started thinking about the different forms of media I've seen Vader in. I don't
hmm
know if he even can
Oh,
because his body was like burnt to a crisp.
well, not only that, he also has a lot of like mechanical stuff like in his body, in his arms. So if he would try to use Force lightning, it's gonna short circuit. So in a way, that's just gonna hurt himself.
Oh yeah, that's true. It'll fry him.
Oh, you got that one correct. Okay, okay, Joby. I see you. So for the next one, this one is going to be no multi questions, just kind of like simple. This
Hmm.
also still ties with Star Wars.
Okay.
Um, how many Sith how many Sith lords are there?
Like of all time.
Um, yeah, like the ones that is like the ones from like the movies that they name so far, or the ones that we at least know of.
I'm trying to think because Bane, Revan, Sidious, Vader, Maul, Plagueis, Dooku. Even if you want to be technical, because we don't know the entire history of Star Wars, maybe hundreds
Mhm.
to thousands. But I'm gonna say based on what we know from the books, the movies, um, the video games, and whatnot, I'm gonna say there's about 20 to 30 known Sith Lords.
So the one you was a little bit off, but you was almost there. I'll like you was almost there. With the answer that I got 10. 10 Sith Lords.
Hmm.
So there was Bane, there was Legris, Emperor Palatine, Darth Maul, Darth Tyrannus.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for butchering his name, and Darth Vader. That's the ones I like picked out for it.
Okay, because I also think some of the less ones like Malik, Scion, Treya,
I didn't even think about
Xana.
Scion, but
Yeah.
Xana.
So, do we just call this a half a point?
I'll give you that. That was a half a point. I'll
All
I'll
right.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you
1.5
that
out of
one.
2. Man, I sound like a shitty Yelp review. I give it 1.2.
No, you know what? That place was all right. I'll give him like a 1 star. It was cool. So this one is going to tied with Chainsaw Man for
Mm-hmm.
this question. So I did talked about there are four horsemen of the apocalypse. There's four of them, but do you know who are? Well, you probably. Mm, Actually, can you give me the four horsemen of apocalypse? Like, I already gave you one. I said that Makima is the control devil. So you have one freebie there, but if you can name like the other three, it don't have to be the names. It can just be like the devils himself.
Well, you mentioned the control.
Hmm.
I don't know squat about Chainsaw Man, so I'm just gonna go with like what I know growing up in church is the quote unquote four horsemen. I'm gonna say there's a war one, a death one, and a famine one.
Yeah, that's correct.
Let's
It's
go.
like the same as like the
2.5.
Bible.
Okay, interesting.
So so in Chainsaw Man, in the later seasons, they do talk about the War Devil, which possessed a another character in the series. Her name is Yuri, just a normal schoolgirl. Everything just happened like the normal life, and then one day, I think she was about to get attacked by a devil or something, and she ended up in a way, I guess I would say, not really make contract with the devil, but the devil is in part of her, like part of her herself. So she comes out here and there, and that's the war devil. There is the famine devil, which is also the sister to the war devil, and the death devil also.
I'll have to. Now I'm even more wanting. After we get done recording the podcast, I'm going to get on Crunchyroll and start Chainsaw Man. It's official.
I would say there is some moments in it you're gonna be like, what does Cabretti have me watching? I mean, what does Kobe have me watching? Like, oh my gosh.
All right, so that puts me at what 2.5 points. Okay, the Yelp review is getting better.
It just goes up from there. So for this next one, it's also still tying with the Chainsaw Man. I
Okay.
did kind of talked about um, that she does that Makima does die, but there's a total of how many times that she's died in that series, but just in whole of like how many times she's died. So the question is, how many times did Makima dies?
I remember you telling me about the train, how she was shot multiple times, and kind of just like sprung up from that.
Hmm. When you do see that, you're gonna be like, damn, she took all that and still didn't die. I'm like, yeah.
She's a tank. Um, and if that's just one event, I'm gonna say like I'm just gonna throw a number out there. I'm gonna say 12.
That one is not that one is incorrect.
I,
It's actually 27 times.
I mean, 12 and 27 are practically close. Just kidding.
So she died 27. She died
Hmm.
26 times, but then when it's kind of a spoiler, when she faces against Chainsaw Man,
Hmm.
she actually dies again for like the 27th time when
Oh,
Denji actually takes her out.
okay. Yeah, that is definitely. I'm watching it tonight, starting tonight.
There's the I would say there's some moments that's a little bit questionable, but
Hmm.
I still like it for like what it is.
Right.
Like, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but when you see Denji or Dinky, the main MC in that,
Hmm.
like his backstory, it's kind of sad, but then just how he is so in some ways nonchalant and really straightforward, and just he loves girls. Like this guy loves his women a lot, I would say. So
So he's
he's very,
basically Johnny Bravo possessed by the devil.
I could, I don't want to say yes or no to that, but because he, in ways, it's just how he interacts with the girls. Because in a way, he's never really had a girlfriend or anything like that, and he's never really been around a lot of women. So when he
Uh,
sees these girls, he's just it's that type of way.
Ah,
I don't want to
so
spoil it too much for you, but like you'll see it.
don't want to roast anybody, but seems like a lot of guys at my local game store. Just kidding. That was terrible. I'm done. I'm getting canceled.
No, you're not. No. I mean, there is some questionable people. I would say very interesting people when it
Yeah,
comes to like the game shops and like car shops. I'm like, oh, you're very interesting.
for sure. And we will save that topic for another day because I have a lot to talk about with
They,
that. That's definitely going to be a topic upcoming soon. But
mm-hmm.
I think we have, that was what, 4 questions?
See, 1, 2, 3. Yep, that was 4 questions.
So we got one more. Hit me with it.
Yep. Let's see, which one do I want to do? This one is going to tie with Pokemon.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna go with this one. Let me see if you remember this from the anime. So in the original Pokemon, this
Mhm.
question is James more richer than Giovanni from Team Rocket?
Instantly, my mind thought yes, but I'm not sure. Because I believe he came from a rich family, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to. I want to say that's what I remember it being. I want to say his family was like rich as hell. Because like, I remember vaguely one episode they went to like one of his family's mansions. I'm going to say yes,
Mhm.
he's richer than Giovanni.
You got that one correct.
Let's go.
James comes from old money. His family comes from old money, so
Hmm.
they're just rich as hell with like loads of money. Like I honestly don't know why James ran away. I mean, I get it. He probably, I'm kind of over this lifestyle of a way where I just want to get away and be my own person and explore. But coming from a family that has probably billions upon billions of dollars and just having old money that's still relevant today,
Hmm.
it's crazy to me. And then on top of that, you in a way kind of left your main Pokemon. I think it was Growlithe. Like you left Growlithe at home too.
Yeah, I remember he had
Like
a
you could have had him
Growlithe.
like tag along.
Hmm. And it's crazy. Oh, you're trying to steal Pokemon, bro? Just drop a couple bands on that shit and buy like a Pikachu or something.
Literally, you have billions of dollars. I would just buy everything just because I want it.
Right. Like, I want some caviar tonight. I'm about to go buy some Magikarp and like, you know?
Yeah, and they do. I love Pokemon, but they do eat Pokemon too, and a lot of the Pokemon facts is so dark, and that can be also for like another video, also for like
Yes.
another segment,
We'll have to
because
do like a.
that
I was just saying we'll have to do like an iceberg type video where we go through like all the theories and like the dark stuff from Pokemon.
oh, we can do that for days because there's tons of them,
Yeah.
tons from different generations. Oh my gosh. But no, you got that one correct. James is definitely richer than Giovanni. Giovanni is rich, but he's not old money rich.
Right. Well, a 3.5 out of 5 isn't bad. I think I got a pretty good average over the first
Hmm
3 episodes. We'll see how things continue to go.
hmm I have to just make him a little bit more challenging on the topics that I pick.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for the Tapping Conversation podcast. I want to leave you with this. Every villain, they're just the hero of their own story. They have reasons, justifications, and dreams. The scary part isn't that villains exist, it's that maybe under the wrong circumstances, any of us might understand them more than we'd like to admit. So, I just want you to think about that. Next week's episode is going to be great. We're going to talk about Vine, the infamous
Hmm
app from mine Kobe's day. But like I said, that's all we have time for today. We hope you enjoyed the show. I just want to remind you guys, put love above hate.
And I also want to say peace, love, and positivity.
Bye now.
Yeah. Tap in. You already know what it is.